Okay, now all of you may aware what about the break-even analysis, and in last session we discussed about the how to calculate break-even point in using mathematical equations. Here, the few things we should know. Break-even point is the point where total cost equals to the total revenue, and in this point we are not having any profits or losses. Okay, in addition to that, we identify another condition in break-even point. What is the condition which we identified? Contribution equals to fixed cost. Then simply we calculated break-even point. If we revised break-even point units equals fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, then break-even point value means rupees, we can calculate fixed cost divided by PV ratio, or otherwise we can multiply this by BEP units by selling price per unit. Okay, already you know how to identify the break-even point through graphs. Today we are going to do some practice sessions, that means some practice questions related to the graphical approach. So mainly we can have three types of drafts you may requested to draft in the exam. So we can show the break-even point by using the traditional break-even chart. You know the condition. In case of traditional break-even chart, we need to draft the total revenue or otherwise sales column, sales line, and the total cost line. Then if we draft that, the point which both of the columns, both of the lines intersect each other can be identified as the break-even point. And the area which covers, that means in the area which total column is higher than the total revenue, is the loss area. එතකොට මේ area එකේදී ඔයාලට පේනවා total cost curve එක total revenue curve එකට වඩා උඩින් යන්නේ, ඒක loss කියන්නේ පාඩු ලබන අවස්ථාව. එතකොට මේ පැත්තේදී total revenue curve එක total cost curve එකට වඩා ඉහළින් යන්නේ, ඒ අවස්ථාව අපිට අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන් ලාභ ලබන අවස්ථාව කියලා. And let's say in this movement we are having 5,000 sales. අපි හිතමු මේ අවස්ථාව වෙන විට අපි 5,000ක් sales තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා, units 5,000ක්. Our sales is 5,000, and here let's say this is the amount of break-even point sales. මේක තමයි break-even point sales. එතකොට the difference between the existing sales units and the break-even point we known as the margin of safety. එතකොට ඔයාලට margin of safety calculate කරන්න කිව්වොත් එහෙම ඔයාලා කරන්න ඕනේ units වලින් නම් දැනට පවත්නා විකුණුම් වටිනාකමෙන් අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ break-even point එකේ තියෙන විකුණුම් value එක. That one can also saying by using the number of units as well as number of sales. එතකොට units ගන්න හොයලා ඒක selling price per units වලින් වැඩි කරාම අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් margin of safety value එක. So here you may aware this part, this is the fixed cost line. So this amount we can identify as the fixed expenses, and latter part we can identify as the variable expenses. If we produce 5,000 units, this is the amount, this is the total cost, then this part fixed cost and this part variable cost. This is the way of identifying the things. Okay, then the thing which should be reminded is, if you ask to draft the traditional break-even chart, you need to draft total revenue curve and total cost curve. Okay, the next one is contribution break-even chart. Contribution break-even chart. Then in that case, if you ask to draft the contribution break-even chart, you need to draft total revenue curve, total cost curve, and total variable cost curve. This is the total revenue curve, this is the total cost curve, and you can draft total variable cost too. In such cases, okay, in this case, you know that the difference between selling price and the sales and the variable cost is known as the contribution. So this amount we known as the contribution. So in the draft, this part, මේ total sales column, say total revenue curve එකයි එහෙම නැත්නම් sales column එක line එකයි variable cost line එකයි අතර ප්‍රදේශය, මෙන්න මේ ප්‍රදේශය අපිට අඳුන ගන්න පුළුවන් contribution එක කියලා. එතකොට මේ ටික සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට profit එක. එතකොට මේ ටික profit එක. This is profit, and this part, total of this is known as the total contribution. Okay, do know this part loss. So simply, if you ask to draft the contribution break-even chart, you need to draw these three curves, namely total revenue curve, total cost curve, and the total variable cost curve. The next one, this is easy. Profit volume chart. You need to draft the profit curve. This is known as profit curve, line of profit. With the in the draft, then this side we know as the loss earning area. This area is the profit earning area, and this is the break-even point. Okay, hope you have that. Now let's draft අපි practical කරන්න ඕනේ මේ දේ. අපි දැන් බලමු කොහොමද ඔක draft කරන්න කියලා. Here I have included the question example. The following information is provided for the year 2020 of ABC company. Selling price per unit rupees 100, variable cost per unit rupees 60, fixed cost 20,000, sales unit, existing sales unit 2,000. Now, first of all, you are required to prepare traditional break-even chart. Then when it's become traditional break-even chart, you know we need to draft total revenue curve and total cost curve. When it's become contribution break-even chart, we need to draft total revenue curve, total cost curve, and total variable cost curve. When it's become profit charge, we need to calculate profit curve. Okay, now, okay, let's draft first. Then we need to depict break-even point and margin of safety in the traditional break-even chart. Okay, let's see. First of all, let's prepare a table like this. Draft this table. A table like and this cell. And again, අපි ඒක fill කරමු අපේ දීලා තියෙන විස්තර වලට අනුව. Here, based on the given details, it's now you can fill the table when it's easy, when we are not having any sales units, sales value, no, we are not having, then no variable cost, then at that time no need to calculate contribution. Then fixed cost have been given as 20,000. Then total cost equals to, when sales units become 0, total cost equals to 0. Then profit or loss, in the sense that one also equals to not 0, 20, minus 20. Then when we are having 1,000 units of sales, say per unit sales into sales value, per unit sales is 100, number of units 1,000, then 1,000 into 100, and you can put 100. Variable cost per unit 60, variable cost per unit 60, 60 into 1,000, 60,000. Then contribution 100 minus 60, 40. Then fixed cost is equal in each case. Now total cost 80. Here profit 100 minus 80, 20. Now when it's become 2,000, sales value 100 into 2,000, that means 200,000. Then variable cost 60 into 2,000, 120,000. Contribution in that case 80,000. Then fixed cost 20. Total cost 140,000. Then profit becomes 60. Okay. Now let's draft the traditional break-even point. You can first, let's mark the point. We need to draft the total revenue curve and the total cost curve. Total revenue you can identify here. Sales 0, 100, 200. Draft a table like this. Maybe and again draft the maybe ප්‍රස්තාර සටහනක් ඇඳගෙන මාක් කරන්න මාත් එක්කම. then curves should be like this. Then here you can identify, let's name the graphs. Here this is the total revenue curve. Now this is the total cost curve. Now you can identify break-even point is 500 units, and this is the break-even point in sales. Okay, value I think middle part මෙතන 60 එන්න මෙතනනේ කියන්නේ මේ value එක I think 50. Okay, then this is the loss area of loss. And this area we are earning profits. Then here they are saying that something to depict. In last point it is saying depict the break-even sales quantity and sales value, and we have been given the information sales units, existing sales units is 2000. If existing sales units is 2000, this is the amount. Now this is the existing sales amount. Okay, and this is the break-even sales, break-even point sales units. Then this part we can identify margin of safety. Okay, complete this. This is the break even. Complete this. Okay, let's move to next table, next graph actually. So now let's see how to draft the contribution break-even chart. Here, same as the traditional break-even chart, we need total revenue curve and the total cost curves, as well as with that we need total variable cost curve. Okay, let's draft. First, let's draft total revenue curve 0, 0, then 1100, then 2200. This is the total revenue curve. Now let's draft the total cost curve. When it's become 0 units, total cost equals to 20,000. Then when it's become 1,000 units, total cost 80,000. When it's become 2,000 units, total cost becomes 1,000. Then the draft rate. That will be like this. Then this is the total cost curve. Now you can draft this is the, now you can mark as we did in the previous one. This is the break-even point. And this area can identify as the loss earning area, and this area we can identify as the profit earning area. Now we need to draft in here total variable cost curve. Total variable in the sense when no output, it may be 0. Then when we are having 1,000 units, it is 60. 16 percent, 40,000 now, 60. And when it's become 2,000, it is 120. Then table will be like this. No, curve will be like this. Then we can name that one as the total variable cost curve. Then you can identify this colored area. This colored area, that means all colored area. That means this side, this part, and this part. I will show that is this part plus this part plus this part is the contribution. Okay, this is the contribution break-even chart. In the exam, if you are asked to draft the contribution break-even chart, the table should be like this. Okay, complete this. Sorry, contribution should be these two areas, loss part not coming to contribution, these two areas. Okay, this one, this and this part. Sorry about it. Thank you. Okay, now let's move to how to, let's see how to draft the profit volume chart. Table should be a little bit revised. In the table, we have calculated the existing profits according to the, not existing profits, profits according to the identified number of activity levels or number of units which they are going to produce. It's simple. If they are not producing anything, the profit, actually they are not profit, then they it may be like minus 20 loss. Then if capacity level is 1000 units, they may have 20,000 profit. If they produce 2000 units, they may have 60,000 profits. Okay, so let's draft this. Okay, then profit curve will be like this. Let's check. Yes. Then this, let's name it as profit, and then this is the condition is profit or loss should be equal to 0 at break even point. Then this is the break even point. In this graph, we cannot identify the sales value, only we can identify the break even sales units. Here 500 you can see, and through this graph we can identify this area as the loss earning area, and this area is the profit earning area. Okay, here this is the loss earning area. This is the profit earning area. Okay, now these are the three drafts we can use to depict the break-even point in graphical way, and through this graph we can identify break-even point. In some cases we can identify break-even point by units and sales, and some cases we can identify only the break-even point, and some cases we can identify loss area, profit area, and contribution. So this is the way of using graphical approach in case of break-even point analysis.